and welcome to the RPG Blender, where we give lesser played games or forgotten settings the roll the dice they deserve. I'm your host, Game Master George, thrilled to welcome you to the next chapter in our adventure. Our heroes are finding conflict brewing in their ranks. Can they control themselves for the sake of Nechara? Find out as we explore a new land of power and ancient secrets in Exalted: Differences. Welcome to the RPG Blender. I'm, of course, your host, Game Master George, and joining me on this journey into Exalted 3rd Edition is Craig. Say hello, Craig.
Howdy, everybody. This is Craig, playing Dirham Barath. Fun facts. A fun fact about Dirham is that, he loves dogs.
Dirham has had 18 years of life. There must be some kind of momentous occurrence in his life that he could talk about.
Yeah, it was when he got his first dog, and it was a great experience.
So what kind of dog was his first dog?
It was a Shih Tzu.
Shih Tzu. Okay. Hey, no, those are very popular on the Imperial Island. So I guess that did Dirham live in the actual Blessed Isle?
Yes.
Oh, we just squeezed some character info out of you. You just got that. You just wiggled that in there.
Okay. And of course, we have Greg. Say hello, Greg.
Hello, everyone. Hi. How y'all doing? I'm Greg. I play the character Adramalik. And fun fact about Adramalik is that he has a sister. Dun, dun, dun. And I'm going to save her name as my fun fact for next week.
Trying to cut me off there. Okay. Trying to stop me from having to do... Is she older or younger?
Younger sister.
Younger sister. Did she exalt as a dragon blood?
I don't know. I would have no way of knowing.
Ah, so you left home before she would have come of that age.
Correct.
Okay, cool. And I hope you're enjoying the RPG Blender shirt.
Yeah, buy that RPG merch. For those of the podcast who can't hear, this is the sound of rich Corinthian leather. It's not actually Corinthian leather.
Oh my God, you're going to get us sued for false advertising. All right, cutting it out, bleeping everything, destroyed. I attempted to.
Who knows what that sounds like? He didn't say it was. He said the sound.
And with that, we'll transition over to Rich. Say hello, Rich.
Hello everyone. I play Smiling Mountain, and a fun fact about Smiling Mountain is as we have established before, he was seen as somewhat blessed and everything by his people. His birth kind of skyrocketed his parents into more of a more status and everything like that amongst their people, amongst their house. But there were some odd readings around him regarding his potential leadership roles of the house, and this made some people uneasy, which is one of the reasons it was decided that he would be gifted to the Immaculate Order in order to go and help, so that way he would not have to worry about things like running anything or coming back and making his family more prominent within the house. It was just time to go become part of the Immaculate Order and be married off. Easy.
And which great house is your family a part of?
We established that last week, so make sure you watch the other episode.
I don't think we did. I could be wrong. I don't think we did.
Because it's one of two, and I'm like, because I was looking at the Google Doc because I was like, George, I was looking at the doc you sent me, and you have Kathak as the big, strong military people.
Mm-hmm.
That was Lao. That was Dirham, right? Catholic Lao. I remember. Those were your fake names. God darn. Okay, never mind.
They're not real people, man.
I was trying to help.
And then Sus says that they're all seen as brutes and thugs, and I was like, is that who I am?
CSIS. They are also a large military force, but they do also have a strong tie to espionage within the realm.
Yeah, it seems unlikely to be. And what was the one that was on the outs?
Tepet. Tepet was another military house. However, after being served a rather monumentous defeat in a recent campaign, they found themselves falling from favor.
You don't have them on the list?
Well, that's because of that.
Okay, well that makes sense. Definitely. So the point is, definitely not them.
Okay, we narrowed it down to not two of them.
See, this is why I don't go big with my fun facts.
I mean, I pulled this one out of
I like dogs.
I like dogs.
I'm a simple man.
I just
relatable.
Well, we'll leave Rich to ponder on this, and maybe by next...
I'd say Kathak. Kathak makes the most sense just with the character. Otherwise, is
Okay.
I feel like we did establish that I might be marrying Adramalik's sister. Like that was a thing last time.
Yes, we did establish that you were potentially being married off to a member of House Sinus.
Yep.
Did that still happen with Catan?
It could, yeah.
All right, then we'll just go with Catan because it's easier. And I'm
House
all for
Sinus,
that.
those the house that is well known for their debauchery, their parties, and of course their slavery.
Probably why I was taught not to care about it.
Yep.
Yep. Anyway, last time our heroes out in the woods found themselves jumped, I guess would be the right word for it, by
Or
a
thrown.
Surprise.
a strange woman in the woods who seemed to recognize Dirham's sword. Calling herself the Lore of Autumn, she informed them that she was traveling with the large horde which was making its way toward Nechara, hoping to conquer it. While the horde is seeking the records within the city itself, Lore of Autumn is seeking to conquer this city for her master Roxy, so that they may use it as a staging ground as they assault the realm. Our heroes then realized that, well, maybe that's not such a bad thing, and decided that there might be a way for them to allow this change of power and to avoid bloodshed by heading back to Nechara and convincing the leadership to willingly open the gates and allow the barbarian horde into their city, surrendering to these forces in the hopes that they might leave the people alone, and then move on to a further staging ground, deeper into the realm territory, leaving these people to their lives, albeit separated from the realm now. Our heroes then made their way back to Nechara, hoping, I guess I should mention that this lady also displayed the ability to transform into a large Ankylosaurus-like creature, which made certain players and or characters extremely jealous in the moment. And then they made their way back to the city, where Dirham and Adramalik clashed horns about Adramalik's followers on the boat. And after a very tumultuous conversation, Adramalik was brought back into the ship and probably more praised than he was before, while Dirham made his way away, simply, I guess, not believing what had just happened.
Yeah, I'll be honest, it seemed kind of ridiculous. But yeah.
Meanwhile, Smiling Mountain headed to his assigned room at the guard post and arranged a meeting in 2 days' time with the leadership of Nechara, where they would be able to state their case and possibly convince them to open the gates. And that is where we left it. So, what do we do next?
Well, now that you said all those things in the prelogue, you make me think that we maybe not have such a good chance.
We have the best chance, guys. Come on. Let's...
So for ease, you guys settle in for the night. You enjoy a night's rest so you can recover anything that you've spent over the last day and wake the next day refreshed. Dirham, where do you sleep? Do you return to the boat?
Oh, yes.
No, I don't.
Make your way into town and find a bed somewhere?
I go off into the wilderness.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You go off into the wilderness. How's your survival?
I don't know, but I'm an Exalted, so I'll make it work. Worst
right.
case scenario, I'll just phase out of existence for a day and let these guys figure the rest out.
That's fair.
I mean, let's be serious. After that whole interaction, coexisting with Adramalik, who has acknowledged that he has a cult, is not jiving with him in any way, shape, or form. So, a la being, gods in the land, he'll just go and separate himself for a while. And actually, overnight, I'm going to will the Lord Demon to my side.
Okay.
When I'm a safe distance from the city, so I can actually get some work done.
Oh,
Be
shit.
proactive.
Okay. What do you have to do what does your power make you do in order to do that? Do you have to spend something?
I think I spend some motes. Let me just double check it. Pulling it up right now. Let's see. For 3 motes, I can reflexively summon the spirit instantly.
All right. You expend your motes, and the spirit appears not in its guise, but in its full bug-like appearance.
Oh, fuck.
And for reference, Dirham is taking a comfortable distance from the city for the time being.
Of course.
I would imagine.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah. So bringing out a demon, probably a good idea.
Don't want to risk
do
a
that.
farmer just, dying of fright.
Well, yeah, I mean, if anything's going to get attacked by this, it's him or whatever other crazy things exist in the forest.
Oh my god.
It
and
appears
even-
in front of you and does not attack. It just watches you.
Just having his Dragon's Eye wand just like sort of at hand as he begins talking to it, because now he's figuring out what the heck he can actually do with this thing. He'll just assess it now that he can see it in its true form, just sort of studying its features, reflecting on any of the readings he's ever had in the past and whatnot, exactly what he's dealing with. He's aware it's a lore demon,
A Nanik, a reader of forbidden texts.
a Nanik, but just trying to sort of study it a bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you trying to glean?
I guess anything that he knows about it, aka what it's like, its anatomy, what it's capable of. Pretty much what has he captured?
What is your new Pokemon?
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, look, a demon that just got freed from a clothes shop and then starts wandering towards a very important part of a city. He's sounds dangerous. So, what does that mean? What does it entail?
Give me an intelligence occult roll.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. So, the creature is a demon obsessed with the acquiring of forgotten or forbidden knowledge. It is a hunter of lost texts and wisdom. It looks like a hunchbacked person with the head of a praying mantis. There's a glow of the pale gold of old parchment shining off of it. It has long nailed hands. As far as you can tell, it's not going to have much in the way of combat capability, but if you need research done, there are few things that would serve you better, albeit possibly with risk, for you never know what kind of hidden wisdom they might find.
Right. Okay. So that being said, he'll just try and talk to it. Demon, do you have a name?
It quirks its head to the side as it looks at you. I am Nanik,
Nanik.
which is the name of the species.
Right,
that
which
you
is
know.
its subtype, I guess, or it's creature, it's category. Okay. Okay. What were you doing here?
I was bound to that place.
Who were you bound by?
I do not know the specific individual. He was masked, hooded, but he exerted his will over me.
Can you describe him? Any other features beyond that?
He wore a long, flowing black robe. The mask he wore was white with a red slash across from above the left eye down over the jaws. Over the mandibles. Probably what he would say.
I translate that to mean jaw. Interesting. Just reflecting, is there any group or cult or association that I might have stumbled into that specific thing, the identification of the mask, that sounds unique. That sounds like a specific feature.
You can give me an intelligence lore roll. This will be hard, however.
Nah, that's fair. Okay, intelligence lore. Let's see. I'll pump some into that. Because why not, right?
Yep.
We got a few days before you should need it.
I mean, it's also the evening, right? I mean, if I'll go to sleep and things will be fine, I might as well.
Tell you, something like pumping into something like lore is one of the weirdest to comprehend. I spend my magic and now I suddenly know things that I didn't know before.
All right. Well,
You're pumping into your bloodline. You're what you used to know.
Yeah, I was going to say you're Jimmy Neutron brain blasting, but yeah, that works.
How dare you?
Do you have a catchphrase now?
Think. But I don't ever say it out loud. That's always going on in his head. I got a 4.
Okay, you got a 4. You are not familiar with that. Yes, it sounds distinct, but it is just general enough that it's hard to nail down a specific origin.
Okay, I just make some notes of that in one of my journals. Did you have a specific reason you were going to where you were going before I intercepted you?
That is where the knowledge is.
What would have happened when you were turned away? And also, where is your guise now? Can you put that back on again?
The guise was provided by my previous master. It is not something I can enact.
Are you capable of magic?
Some magic, yes.
To what extent?
I could not do what you did, of course, but I have some magics along those lines, and I could learn more.
What do you want?
Answers.
To what?
Everything.
Me too. Okay. I'm going to send you away now.
Will you send me to study?
You may do so of your own volition, but not here. And I phase him back out.
Okay.
Bye.
Interesting. Okay.
Give him like a children's book or something to read when he's away, man. Like, give him something.
Oh, that's like torture for him. He's
I mean, we don't actually know what's
vastly
happening.
intelligent. I imagine.
Look, man, I bound that dude to my essence. All right. I don't think we're going to be the best of friends.
He's definitely not as smart as Dirham.
Okay. With that in mind, Darren will return to town and just look for a cheap place where he can just stay. He doesn't need to be on the boat tonight.
Yeah, it's easy enough to find a place to stay. There have been a number more vacancies in the town, what with the rumors of the approaching horde and with the strange goings on of a week ago.
No, that's a good point.
Spontaneous combustion will do that.
Yeah, really sours the taste of the town. Okay, cool. Yeah,
All right.
That's what he does for the night.
All right, then, unless anybody has anything else for the evening, we proceed to day one of your wait. Does anyone have anything in particular they do on this day?
I'm trying to recruit more cult members from this town. Sorry, not cult.
Dude, you already
admitted
called it a
it.
cult.
You admitted it
in
several
the
times.
Story. You said it out loud, which made all the more
Be
ridiculous.
free. Be free.
So-
Be free.
So just take it on the chin. You already had the dialogue in game. You're a cult leader. That's what you are.
Well, I'll try and meet up with everybody
I'm a
tomorrow.
cool cult leader. I'm like,
What?
That's what every cult
I
leader
put the-
says too.
I
You
put
are
the
fitting
cool-
into this perfectly.
I put the cool in Kool-Aid. All right.
Also terrible.
My God.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Smiling Mountain makes his way back to the boat, I assume, if he's looking for people.
Yeah, that's where all the food is.
So come the morning, Smiling Mountain returns for the food. Does Dirham?
Yes, Dirham will return in the morning.
Of course. All right.
But when I get there, if is Dirham there or not when I get there? Or do you get there like a little later than me?
I don't think I'm a lazy I'm not like, oh, just sleeping in. Dirham's not that kind of person, so he's probably there with purpose.
All right.
Maybe arriving at the same time as you, as we have
Perfect.
trained alongside, so we're probably on a similar schedule.
Then I'll look at you and I'll smile and I say, didn't go how you thought it was going to go, did it?
You know, you'd think people would understand falling in line with a cult is not exactly your own identity, and when told certain things, perhaps you're just being told them for a specific benefit. But who am I to judge? All these people got even more giddy when they heard that he was a cultist, and which he said out loud. I couldn't believe it. He said it out loud, and everyone was like, "Yeah, cults are great." They looked into the camera and they said, "Cults are great. Everyone should join cults." It was crazy. I felt like I was the crazy person for trying to point out that they're bad, that cults are bad things, but that wasn't the case. So, yeah, I'm not going to stay on this boat, really.
Well, we have to take the boat to get back, so let's not be like, brash about things.
Yeah, but you know, I have a knack to phase out of existence these days, so maybe that'll just be a thing for traveling. You
But
know,
what if you're back in the ocean where we are traveling? Not the ocean, but river.
well, I hope I
Oh,
can swim
my
or I'll drown to
friends,
death. My next.
welcome.
Oh, hey, Adramalik. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. It's very good to see both of you. Well, I have breakfast prepared. I missed you last night, Dirham. I was wondering where you were. I went by your quarters to talk with you.
No. Wasn't going to be there. Probably won't be on the boat for the remainder of our stay.
Well, I had Sandra, do a touch up and everything. I thought maybe you thought it was a little uncleanly or whatnot, so I had them all clean it up, make it nice for you. So when you're ready to return, you'll find it very accommodating.
Wow, that's an action that you performed, Adramalik. It certainly is. Why don't we eat? Walks onto the boat.
Thanks, Agatar Malik, for the food. I mean,
Oh, yes, well, of course. I mean, this is our food. I mean, it's the resources we all worked together to obtain.
and I appreciate it, and I give you a little just a little gentle knock on your thing. And there's no at all this is not tongue in cheek. I'm absolutely sincere with my words.
We all contribute in what ways we can, and Stephanie is a wonderful cook.
Yes, she is. Stephanie, it's great eggs today, and I just keep on shoveling. I just zero concern. And I look at Dirham and I just like mouth and I'm like, idiots. And I'm just like, just keep eating.
Dirham's face becomes even more pensive.
Okay, so do you have anything in particular you do this morning?
We
When
should
is
probably
our-
do some research about the leaders of the city, right?
Yes.
Sounds smart.
Yes, a profile would certainly help us. Do we know if there's like clearance that we need to get into the Hall of Records? I mean,
Yeah, we're not
Well,
allowed in
yes.
there.
Yes, there is clearance. We tried to get in before, Ricky and myself, and we were turned away. So, yeah.
so do we know what it takes to get in? Have we asked?
A writ of some kind, some sort of paperwork, which we do not currently have.
Okay, and who can give a writ?
Someone with the authority to do so, I would imagine. Someone in town. We could go around today. I mean, we have some time before meeting with the leaders. We could use that as an ample opportunity to find a way to obtain this.
Well, it's a bustling city and individuals of power who probably have need of assistance in some way, shape, or form. I'm sure we could handle some work in return for access, and then from there, push our objective further.
I
That's my
agree.
guess.
We could also utilize it that there's something within the Hall of Records we think will help in the coming blah.
In dealing with the imposing threats of Nechara. Who knows? They might just actually support us.
Well, this is it. If we tell like guard captain, like we think that would be something we can glean, then we can perhaps avoid this altogether. Might
Oh, that
pull
would
some
be the
strings.
ideal hope.
At a minimum, going to the guard captain that you've acquainted yourself with is probably a good place to start. He's got to know individuals of connection who would be able to provide a writ.
Maybe. He also gave us the meeting as well. So I mean, whatever he can do, he can do. Just
Maybe he can give a writ.
maybe.
It's
But I have
possible.
a feeling. I think it's weird that an entire army is going through this Hall of Records.
I agree. Maybe once we get in there, we could find out what's so special.
I think it would be hard for us to get in there if an entire army is trying to get in. I don't know. If we get a writ, we get the writ. But if it's
Yes, it
taking an
seems-
army breaking down the walls to get into a library,
It seems like
I don't think
everybody
a lot of
wants
people
what's
are in
in
that
there.
library.
Well, there's a difference between us and the thousand fangs.
Yes,
and
an
the
angry
lower bottom,
horde.
Well, can
And,
I just?
and the cannibal sorceress queen or whatever, you know.
I'm sorry, what?
Huh?
Roxy.
What?
She... The leader of the Silver... she...
Yes, a legendary sorceress, the cannibal queen of Maharaja.
She's a cannibal?
You two didn't know that.
No.
I was going to ride and go meet her.
Have you ever seen
I
me
thought it was
read?
weird that you were so willing.
I've never heard that she was a cannibal. How was I supposed to know that?
Never
I
heard of that
mean,
place.
I did. I thought that you guys just were up on the
No,
times.
everything is common knowledge.
You guys were so comfortable about the dialogue about this army coming in here. I just thought you knew all the situation. I thought you didn't have an issue
What
with that.
other things are you not telling me?
Yeah, just assume that we don't read. We don't. I've never seen Andrew Malik read. I clearly don't read. What do you know?
Yeah, I stopped reading a long time ago.
Let's see. What else do I know? We're carrying a part of the tapestry of I guess what is it? Of time, of history, of reality, the weave of fate.
What?
The
What?
in your bag.
The thing that I carry on my back
Yeah, that.
is part of.
Very important. Yes.
Yeah, this is good. I'm glad we're having this dialogue now.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What other secrets are you keeping from us? Nix, you have a cult or you have something going on that I don't know about.
No, I'm working to help the world. Let's see. What else do I know? The demon that I bound.
Which one?
I'm
You have
so-
three.
I'm sorry.
But those aren't. Those
I'm
are
sorry.
sort of a little different. This one's conjoined to my
What?
essence, but that one is. It's called a Namik. It's a seeker of forbidden knowledges. Namik, is that wrong?
Nanik.
Nanik.
And no N's. No M's, all N's.
Damn, my chicken scratched to hell. A Nanik. A Nanik, a seeker of forbidden lore. It's just driven to that purpose. Was bound here by an individual in a black flowing robe, a white mask with a red slash down the left eye to its jaw. Beyond that, I don't know.
Let me get this straight. You enslaved a demon.
No. No, I did not. I bound my essence with it.
And it obeys you unquestioningly.
It cooperates with me, yes.
But because it has no choice, because it is forced to by your will.
Because actually we're kind of one at this point.
But it is its own creature. It's not you. It's another entity.
It's more like a parasitic relationship in the sense.
Okay, and who's the dominant parasite?
And remove it.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This is. Adramalik like can't even keep a straight face. He just turns to Rakim and just gesticulates wildly, just like, can you believe this?
What? No, it seems like the kind of demon that he would associate with. Anyway,
Oh,
I
no,
recommend.
no, that's not what I'm upset with.
Azramalik, just take it in, absorb it,
It's
enjoy
totally
it.
fine.
You don't have to do it all right now. Just chew it, and I turn you back around, like to keep moving the direction we're moving it. You do it. Hey, you can savor this for a long time, buddy. And I rub your
Jessica,
back.
can I have some of those grapes? Can I have some of Uber's grapes, Jessica, please? I think I really need some of those grapes right now.
Jessica
I
comes
need
with some of the grapes that she had been previously feeding to Uba and gives you some.
I aggressively eat them, like squishing each of the grape heads.
Why are
into
you
a
so
pulp.
mad? You should be happy about everyone's
I'm
so
not really
weird.
sure what the problem is here. You asked me to tell you things. I'm telling you things.
No, and I appreciate that. Anyway, but the thing I wanted to bring up, though, your thing was pretty funny, Adramalik. I'll give that to you. It was,
Angrily eats grapes in response.
you got it heading to the Hall of Records, yeah?
Yes.
So, seeker of forbidden knowledge. Again, I don't feel like there's a lot of forbidden knowledge in where I grew up's Hall of Records. There's like some birth certificates, some land claims, but forbidden knowledge is a very specific thing. So for a demon to be like, oh, there is something forbidden in that Hall of Records, and an army to be going toward that Hall of Records, again, I cannot point out enough that I feel like there is something very strange going on with this Hall of Records that we are probably not just going to be invited to walk into.
I agree. However, playing by the rules of the society is probably going to be the less dangerous of avenues.
I think that even
Doesn't hurt to try.
I
We
think
have
that
some time.
publicly asking the question may also be risky. So I think that asking the guard captain is probably good because no matter what, he knows that we are kind of working with him, and I feel like he, as a man of the people, he is much more likely to say, "Hey, don't ask a fucking question like that." But we shouldn't go blabbing out that we're looking to get into the Hall of Records to just about everybody. That's all I say.
I agree.
And I could be
thought we
wrong.
were on the same page to go to the captain for.
Oh no,
information on this.
I agree. I'm just putting it out there that there may be worse things down the line, and for all of us, like it may be
I
not so
thought we
good.
were all on the same page.
Well, yes, we're
we're on the same page.
negotiating for the sake of a city against a tribe of barbarians.
Oh no, I'm
and
not
another
referring to that.
Exalted.
I'm not referring to that. I'm referring to you telling us 3 new pieces of information that we had no knowledge of prior, and then saying, "Oh yeah, we're all on the same page." Of
I
course.
mean, we all assume that people know things that they know and that they don't know. It's just fine. I appreciate you telling us now,
I've
Durham,
shared
and I'm not going
everything I
to
know
be
with
mean
you.
to him about sharing now. Let's be nice. Okay, you do. You're a very sharing person, and I've already thanked you for that this morning, have I not?
I mean,
you have.
I mean,
One of you has not, and his name rhymes with Biram.
we're opening this can, so why don't we just continue it? I think it was yesterday, through our whole existence of being together, that you said that you are the leader of a cult for the first time. So we've been together for months, and this is the first time you've ever said it. So before you get on your high horse there, Sinis Nadala, aka Adramalik, watch what you say, because you have held a very obvious fact out from yourself and us who knew it. So enough. I have told you the things. Would you like to do what is necessary, or would you like to begin to fight?
I will do whatever is necessary. You should never question me in that regard. But to insinuate that things that you have done are somehow just now acceptable after what I've done is not, it beggars belief. It truly does. That you lecture me with one hand and mock me with the other.
How am I mocking you here?
Acting as if I've enslaved and bound all these people that I have not, and yet you enslave and bind a demon to your service? Acting as if I'm holding secrets from you, as if I have not been open about my family and everything that we've done and given to you, while at the same time hoarding and keeping all this knowledge to yourself, and just now telling us.
Anytime I referenced this as being the potential of a cult, did you ever say, yes, this is a cult?
Because you act as if that's a bad thing.
Cults
It's
are
not
bad.
a bad thing.
Cults are bad.
Well,
They
maybe
are
to you
bad.
are. Just as the anathema are bad, perhaps it's just a matter of perspective.
No.
No, the meaning of anathema is bad meaning. I'm just
And the meaning of cults has a bad meaning. That's perhaps why I said I did not have one.
Because there are cults.
Because that
There
is
are groups.
the word. The word
There are
itself has a negative
organizations.
association with it.
When everybody has a say. And
You've clearly made up your mind not to listen to me. I don't know why I'm bothering, Rakim. I honestly don't.
You're bothering because you're drawing false equivalency between both of your situations. The major difference, and again, take no offense of this, either of you. Absolutely, Dirham thought it was necessary in the moment to enslave, in not mincing words, a sentient creature that we are, as a society, used to enslaving, because that is what we do. And you, Edra Malik, utilize all of these people, and this bacon is delicious today, Samantha. You did a great job.
Stephanie cooked that, but that's fine.
Your name will be different tomorrow. It'll be fine anyway.
The naming ceremony's on Thursdays, but yes, sorry.
Point is that Dirham values human life and human freedoms, and he sees you take advantage of these people. And make no mistake, Edgar Malik, you do take advantage of these people, but this is your gift. But this is your. You don't have to stop. You take advantage of them, but that is theirs to give. They give you this advantage freely. I watch you talk to them, and they come and they give it to you. They have chosen to give you the fruits of their labors, but he sees this, and rightfully so, as imbalance, because there is an imbalance to your relationship. But all relationships have an imbalance, and therefore you are simply utilizing yours as a tool to move us forward, as he is utilizing his magic as a tool to move us forward. It is a false equivalency, though, in that we do not view the creatures the same. Demons are not people, and people are not demons. However, tomato, tomato, you're both doing what it takes to get us to our goal, which is why I'm just here enjoying bacon. So let us stop fighting.
I agree with everything you're saying. The only problem I have is that it is acceptable for him and not for me. I am not entitled to a modicum of respect from this man, who we've been working with for months.
I did not enslave the creature. You are wrong. That is your perception of the situation. The essence is
then how does that not
with
pertain
it.
to this situation? Are you all knowing about each of the members of my family?
Apparently not, as all of them in almost unison said, yeah, we know we're part of a cult. What's the problem here?
I gave you the ample opportunity last night to speak with them, to talk with them,
and
to
I
learn.
did, and they spoke back
left.
and then revered you and walked away to celebrate all together. I watched them do it. That's actually out of game. That is what happened. They literally went, the chosen one, and they picked you up and carried you out. Yeah. So you are lying right now, back in game. I spoke with them as they said, the chosen one, and they picked you up and walked away, and I sat there slack-faced. I do not agree with you being the chosen one, he says, and he slams his hands on the table and like starts breathing heavily. I think this has gotten to me, and I think I'm going to leave. I trust you two to handle what needs to be done, and I'm losing control of myself. So I'm going to walk away. Good luck, and I'll see you all in the evening. And Dirham gets up and leaves the boat.
Well, this is a good question for you now, Smith.
That was excessive.
No.
I'm usually pretty excessive, but that...
You are very excessive, but...
That trumps me.
So here's the deal.
Sorry, I know that the bacon is very good. But it's very difficult with your accent. I apologize. No, please.
Here's the deal, Alder Malik. Now you have choice to make. The way you treat these people, and whether they follow you or not, the same thing. I have people that follow. Dirham has no problem with those people that follow. But you have choice to make now. And it's an important choice because it affects literally everyone. He doesn't like the way you treat him. He doesn't. It's very clear. You need to rebalance your relation. No, listen. Let me finish.
I value your input, please.
If you want to keep Dirham as a part of your strength, and because I am bound to Dirham, keeping me as part of your strength, you have to make this choice. And I'm not telling you that you have to do this is a form of being like, you must do this, otherwise one or the other. I'm letting you know what your choices are because it's clear that Dirham is deeply uncomfortable with the imbalance. So if you aren't, and you feel like this is the right, if you feel the level in which you have these people at is appropriate and you would not change it for the world, then do not change it. But if you would change it in order to maintain the strength that you have gathered, then it may be worth changing. So even if you do not see a reason to change it for emotional reasons, for gain, you do this.
I feel as if I've made every concession possible to appease him, and yet still I am treated with no respect, and yet still I am lectured by both you and him. It displeases me, to say the least, and
You feel
I've done my
lectured,
best. Yes, I feel lectured.
Why? I simply point out what is. I do not care how you do not beat these people. I don't think it is wrong what you do here. I've told you this many times.
I mean, you present me with the choice. Why do you not go to Dirham and present him with the choice?
Because I am
He's the
bound
one
to
who
do it.
stormed off twice now.
Because I am bound to do it. And so where Dirham goes, inevitably I go. And so
Wait,
Dirham
he's
chooses-
enslaved you too?
No, I am bound to him through oaths and through time and through friendship. And while you are my friend and I wish you the best, Dirham's path eventually is my path. And so I will leave to go with Dirham if Dirham becomes a comfort here.
So our friendship is lesser?
Your path, whatever it may be, is one that will just not include me unless it is needed for me to be included in. And Dirham can't be near your path. And so I do not know when it would reconnect, but it does not seem likely that I would stay. And you can look at it as lesser, greater, however you want. And also, just from a purely pragmatic, as I'm sure you can appreciate that, Jamelik, while I enjoy you as a person, I trust, I have gone the distance with Dirham already. We have made it years already. And with you, while I like you, you are still so fresh to your abilities and there's still so much unknown about you. I don't know who Adramalik will be in a year from now. And while I would love to be here to make sure you do not step into the wrong paths, I do not know where you'll be. Will you kill me in a year? Will you change completely? Will this place change completely? The point is I don't know, because I didn't know how I would be in a year, Adramalik, and you are completely different than me in all ways. From your symbol to your heart to how you were raised, everything is different, and I don't know. I know who Dirham is.
Do you?
Yeah.
Because that did not look like a Dirham I've come to know for the past 3 months.
No.
That was an altogether completely different Dirham.
No, that was...
What was it that the Lord of Autumn said about our kind of people?
Oh, yeah, something about
She
us
said
going
something.
crazy. Something about us going crazy, but probably
Yeah,
just
on
the
that,
trigger.
I'm gonna go ahead and jump in here for a moment. I think we're gonna go ahead and need to up that not okay with slavery intimacy to a major from minor.
That's fair.
Hell
you're
yeah!
muted.
I was going to say.
I think I'm also gonna need you to make a limit roll.
I was going to ask that.
Yes,
about that.
it is. Yes, go ahead and make me drop a die, and any successes that you get will increase your limit. So with lower intimacies like this, you drop 1 die. If it's a defining, it's 2, and if it is your specific limit trigger, it's 3.
I did not get a success. I rolled a 6.
Okay, then you are fine. You manage to control the raging beast that attempts to break free from whatever this power is and pull it back inside, which is probably that moment when you go, I need to leave.
Yeah. Yeah. Word up.
And I'm not saying your relationship with these people is right and wrong, but you have to admit that it is uneven. Can you concede at least that your positions, that the power dynamic is obviously not one, as many aren't organizations, it's not a straight line?
I would say that the difference in our power is not equal, yes, but what we contribute to the family in accordance with our power is equal. Just as I am the protector and the provider, Stephanie is the cook, Mark is the wonderful poser. I mean, he models all the clothing quite excellently.
And in game,
Sandra
I let you go.
cleans.
In game, I'll let you go on a little bit, I'm like, wonderful. Go ahead.
And I list off a bunch of different people by name.
Somebody knows.
These
Yes.
are people that I've cared about and protected and nurtured. And Dirham acts as if...
I'm gonna get the door.
It's not the door. It's somebody like at the gangplank for your boat, like kind of knocking because you don't want to interrupt the discussion.
Perhaps we can discuss this at another time. My only request is that perhaps you speak to Dirham about this.
I will
I've
get his
done
feelings
everything
on
I
it.
can within my power to make him comfortable, to try and earn his acceptance, but he will not give it to me.
So you're telling me that where you're at now is all you, and again, I'm asking you this truly, as we're walking up, you feel you have done everything, that there is no more that you could do.
Yeah, well, yes.
That is it then. Then what more is there to say? And I will walk up.
Okay. And waiting for you, you see the bartender from before you went off into the woods.
Hi.
You wanted some of that ale, right? I just got a delivery coming in, if you're interested in it.
Yes, very, very much so. Come on board, please.
We're having breakfast.
Well, if you're interested, they'll be coming in later today, and you can come by and
acquire some yourself, either from them directly or I can sell it to you, whatever you prefer.
I think don't they have an exclusivity agreement with you?
Yeah, but
The approaching horde, I assume, has made things rather difficult.
yes, that's one way of putting it.
Are you leaving?
Well, I will not let an opportunity like this go amiss. Consider seeing our faces in your shop sometime later this evening.
Great.
He turns to walk away, eyes the bacon, but then turns and walks.
Sandra, could you package some of that up and preserve it for later? We'll bring it with us. Thank you.
Meanwhile, Dirham, where do you go?
Yeah.
That's a great question.
He goes to commune with his enslaved
Go
people.
walk in the rain with the saxophone playing.
I think he just walks the streets for a while and just like kind of like eyes to the ground, just like everything. And trying to rationalize if he is actually enslaving a demon, and if he is like slavery, though as he understands it, it's bound into his essence, so it's like a part of him now. But is that, and like where does that really land? And just keeps probably doing circular logic behind the aspect of being an exalted and the aspects and powers that come from that, but also his thought process towards trying to better mankind and how slavery is inherently harming mankind through the equivalency of people in the process, but then trying to cross-examine with demons and other powers like that, and just his eyes probably just glaze over as he just walks all through Nechara, just with no actual purpose. Like literally, I'm just throwing hours of the day away as Dirham gets stuck in his own existential crisis.
Okay. Give me a perception awareness -2.
Sure.
So subtract 2 dice from whatever you would normally roll.
Okay.
Oh, not -2 successes. That's much better.
No. External penalties subtract dice. Internal penalties subtract successes. You don't.
There
want
are internal penalties. Oh God,
Yes.
that's horrible. That sounds like the worst. That's
4.
way more penalizing.
Okay, 4. You're walking the streets. There's nothing. There are people out and about, living their lives. You don't run into any people that you think are slaves, at least nobody outwardly mistreating any kind of slaves. So nothing to trigger anything like that.
I have to know this.
At one point, you pass the clothing store where you found your demon, which probably brings up some memories. At another, a person in blue robes bumps into you while you're walking. They apologize, but they don't really stop and give you much more than that. You keep walking, and eventually you find yourself heading back toward the Hall of Records, which is pretty much how this city is laid out. Every street kind of spokes out from that building. So if you wander long enough, twisting paths will lead you in that direction. Unless you have a destination in mind. But I think from how you described it, you're just wandering.
I don't. Okay. He's sort of just running on instinctive feeling right now. And just coming to the Hall of Records, he just sort of takes it in for a moment and just thinks, and then looks around for like, if there's like a bench or a fountain or something near the Hall of Records.
There is out in front of it a rather nice fountain. It is depicting a dragonborn general striking down some kind of barbaric monster. It's clearly something from the woods to the side. You're not sure what the story is behind it, or maybe you are. You haven't rolled against it, but it is fairly well cared for, and there are benches alongside it.
Okay. Dirham will just go and try to find a seat that hasn't been already occupied, and just watch the Hall of Records while just sort of thinking.
Okay, and you sit.
Just sits there and watches just for an non-determinate amount of time. That's all he does. Just observing activity there, guards, people who come and go, and just sits.
Okay. Meanwhile, Mountain and Adramalik, do you do anything before you're heading toward the...
I'm going to the guard captain.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Dirham entrusted us to resolve this. Well, he does whatever he needs to do, so I guess we'll head and see that captain. What was his name again? You're good with names, right? Adramalik says without a hint of sarcasm.
Yeah, I probably think so.
Great. All right. What's his name so I can address him properly when I meet him?
Do you want me to make up a name, George? Because I was doing that for your sake. You
I'm aware that you were doing that for my sake.
All Are you going to guess a name or not?
No, because I should know his name by now.
You should know his name by now, and I should know his name by now.
Mm-hmm. But here we are.
Here we always are. Every time. Doesn't matter. Guard captain number 5, whose name is... God, why are all these random names weird?
Idrimelik, well, he's looking for a weird name. You said that Stephanie was just as important as you with her role, right?
Of course, she feeds the family.
You don't have to stop. I know the reasons. You've given very good reasons. Then you sleep in her bed and you let her sleep in yours.
Well, I mean, okay.
Okay.
I mean, it's not really the right size bed, but...
What? Why? You're all just as important, and I'm sure they would enjoy the nice sheets, nice pillows. Maybe tomorrow, Uba can feed one of them.
Wait, Uber can... Sorry, what?
Uba can feed one of your people. You know?
Well, I mean, it's a lot of work for him. He's got tiny little arms.
I've seen him go around. He's fun. He's strong. And everyone's just as important.
Yeah, maybe you're right. He could use the exercise.
He could.
I think
And
he might.
this is what I'm talking about. Is that if everyone is as important, and I don't doubt that you mean what you say, but my point is that if you believe that everyone is as important, then even how everyone eats, give everyone a nicer bed like you have, or as close as you can.
I don't have the resources to do that. I mean, in the meantime, because I'm providing more, that is why I receive that.
Oh, so you're more important.
No, it's just what I provide. I provide for everyone.
But if I provide more, then I'm by rights more important, and then everyone isn't equal.
No, what I provide is the most, but what I provide in relation to what I can do is the same as what everyone provides in relation to what they can do.
Ah, so you're saying it's more of a per capita, i.e. I give 100% and therefore I get more because I provided 100%, but I do more with my 100%. But either way, you are get more because you are more important because you're 100% worth more.
Well, yes, I'm the protector and the provider, as I said.
So it's a little uneven.
I don't follow. I mean,
if you're not following it,
they don't pay anything. There's no
they
dues. There's no money. They get free food.
Stop,
free shelter.
Eddermalik. I am not here. You don't have to convince me, but it sounds like you are trying very hard to convince someone. Just look at it. That's all I'm asking you to do. Think.
I will sleep in Stephanie's bed if that will make you happy. But I thought you were okay with it.
I don't care, but I recognize it as uneven. I know it is uneven.
Is this what Dirham wants? If Dirham wants me to sleep in Stephanie's bed, I will sleep in that bed. But he's going to have the wrong idea because when I went off last time with Samantha, he freaked out. I mean, you should have seen his face.
I mean, in his defense, those kind of things are upsetting for me too. But it is, I understand your.
Well, this is the thing. It's a cultural difference. Then, I mean, I tried to explain it to him. His perception of cults is all wrong. That's why I didn't refer to it as a cult. I mean, and Adramalik goes on and on, like
That's why as we're getting to the cult, point is we're getting nowhere.
Yep, you arrive at the guard station where you are attempting to meet Captain Najalan.
Najalan. Like Magellan, but with a banana. Captain Najalan.
Yes?
It is good to see you again, my friend. I had a question for you, but I wanted to ask you it with my friend here. This is Edgar Malik.
To see you, Captain Najalan.
And you?
Could I ask you a question just quickly in private? Because I have a feeling it might be a sensitive question, but I'm not from here, so I don't know if it's essential. You know?
Of course.
Thank you. And
he leads you to his office. Does Adramalik come with you for this sensitive question?
Yeah.
Because he knows what it is. Yeah.
We're part of the same team.
Yep.
I don't think even unless Rakeem objects.
No, I wave you in. Like, it's not that private. Like, you know what I'm going to ask. The eighth question, is there a way to get access to all of records?
Of course. You must simply submit the forms, wait for your approval to come in, and then you'll have access during certain assigned hours.
Oh, how long does this generally take?
It usually takes... Well, I mean, he gives a little bit of a wry smile. You can tell that it frustrates him to no end. It depends on whose palm you grease.
This is so. I'm guessing could be hours, could be months. Depends on who's.
And also, if there's a sense of urgency, like for example, a raging barbarian horde on the horizon, would that aid in increasing the time?
It might, and you certainly will have your chance to plead that case tomorrow.
Tomorrow. It's what I assume. Thank you, Captain. This is actually all I wanted to know. I wanted to make sure there was nothing strange about it.
No, yes, that's it.
That was actually it.
Yes. How fares your men? How are the city defenses at the moment?
They're nervous. What would you expect?
Understandable.
I haven't told them everything, but they know enough.
Very well. We shan't keep you. I'm sure you have duties that keep you occupied.
I do.
Me and my.
But is there
friend
any
shall
other
be on our way.
information you need from me?
That is it. We've taken enough of your time. If we have anything before you go, you'll be the first to.
Very well. Then I suppose you can
Actually,
be on your way.
there is one thing. The important families or ruling members of this city, who are they? And do they have any identifying symbols?
Well, that is an interesting question. They are secretive. Their identities are hidden.
And they wear masks, I take it then.
Yes, they do.
Is there a family that wears a white mask with a red line going?
Did he tell us about that?
Yeah, Dirham said it
He
to
did.
us. He was describing it. And I was like, well, more secrets. Ah! Remember?
Yes, that would be the masks that they all wear. They all, every member wears identical
Is there any-
outfits when they meet for their decisions, so none can tell precisely how any specific person is voting and be able to bully their...
Sounds very fair.
Decision.
I mean, no way to gain an edge in that sort of debate if everything is anonymous, truly.
Yes.
But as far as the robes, they all wear the same robes as well?
Yes.
And as for stature, are they all of similar heights?
They have differing heights, of course, but the robes do serve to downplay the physical differences.
When you're sitting, it's hard to gauge those kinds of things.
As well.
Because someone could be very tall with a small torso. Blah, blah.
Well then, when we meet with these ruling members, will they be wearing the masks at this meeting?
They assuredly will.
But they don't wear it all the time. I mean, where do they live? I mean, they must take them off
That's
of their
the point.
homes.
You don't know.
That's exactly the point. There is no way for anyone to come in and simply assassinate all of the leaders of the city if no one knows exactly who they are.
But there's no, like, upper district of the city where the more wealthy patrons live?
Well, there
they
are
could
more
live anywhere
wealthy
in the city.
individuals, yes, but that is not necessarily where they come from.
Correct. I mean, anyone could be a ruling member, and they could live in the lowest hovel. That is rather ingenious.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Casual in thought. That is all, Captain Nechara. Thank you.
Of course, I appreciate you putting in this effort to save our city. I know you are new here, but thank you.
I value people very much.
Yes. Well, I hope that that is truth.
So do I. And I kind of like look down at him and like without him knowing, like just at the side, just kind of like looking at him, and then I look back up and nod at the captain and head out.
You know surely that I am placing great faith in you, that you are who and what you claim to be. I hope that this faith does not end up being misplaced.
We will do whatever is in our power to save this city, whatever the cost.
He nods and then sits down at his desk.
Before I leave, I say, I think I'm probably more than you hope. The question is, will this be enough to age? And I nod and then I just leave. Talking to my heartstrings, you prick.
Yeah, you know we're gonna fucking reveal
dare
ourselves
you?
to be anathema.
How dare you?
Thank you so much for taking the time to enjoy our show. Come back next week for the next part of our adventure, or join our Patreon for early access to the next episode, as well as our Patreon exclusive campaign of Rippers. If you like our content, consider supporting the channel alongside our first patron, Bubble Dirt. But of course, don't forget to check out our tutorials and video plays on YouTube at The RPG Blender. If you want to stay up to date on our releases, you can join our Discord. Check the description for a link. Don't have Discord? No worries, find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at RPG Blender. Or subscribe on your podcast app of choice. Music is The Punk Rock Show by My Free Mickey. Copyright 2012, licensed under Creative Commons Attribution License. Thank you again, and remember, there's gaming outside the Forgotten Realms.